Okay, quick introduction here to Photo Workflow, some really basic stuff that you can do to get started, just to get uploading. I'm here in my system here, so the first thing I'm going to do is add a new client. Not a real one, but just something so we can test with. So let's call it Adam Hills Testing Client, just so we know. And let's make up an email, adam@randomhost.com. Okay, so I'm going to create that client. So we see he's come into the system here, and if I also look at my sent emails from Photo Workflow, you can see here, this guy, Dear Adam, you've been added to the system, my logo, my banner image, which is all editable. So then let's create a session for this guy. New session. So I came to the Sessions tab there. New session. So give the session a name, so Winter Headshots. Adam Hills Testing, he should be in this list. Your list will obviously be a lot smaller when you first start off. Adam Hills Testing Client. Session date, let's say it's today. I'm going to say I give him 5 free retouches in this session. There's not an agency, we'll come back to that later. And this little button here, allow client to download web-ready versions. That's if I want to say small watermarked images, if you're going to use a watermark, they have the option to download. You can turn that on or off. I'm going to say on. So I'm going to create a session. So here, if we go back to current sessions, should see under today's date, Adam Hills Testing Client Winter Headshots. So when you click on a session now, you've got 3 options. You can either edit the details, so you can rechange some of those details there, change the title of it, change the date. You can add an agency at that point if you wanted to, or just close that. If you did change any details, say you wanted to give away 4, update session, that would change those details. And then if we look again, 4 free photos there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the edit the images view. This is where the basic way of uploading images for a session. So edit images. You'll see here a button upload. Right. So we're going to pretend this is that client. So I'm back in Lightroom now. Basically, we want to create JPEGs that are good for the website. So let's just create maybe say like 10 or 12 here. If we go to File, Export, or you can use that Export button there. So let's start a simple one. So this is to the hard drive, we're exporting to hard drive. We're going to say a specified folder. So let's just choose desktop for now. So you could export to your desktop, and you're going to put in a test into a subfolder, Adam Hills Testing. And then none of this is really important, don't need to rename it. File settings is the next important bit. I'd say obviously JPEG, I'd go for sRGB because that keeps the colours consistent. A quality of around 70 to 80 because we don't need tons just for viewing. 75 is pretty good. Resize to fit, this is quite important. We're going to resize to fit the long edge at 1900 pixels at a resolution of 72. What that should give us then is quite small files, but with a good enough quality for viewing, but no more than we need. So that's all we need to do. Don't need to really sharpen. You can do a little bit of sharpen for screen. Low amount might just crisp it up a little bit depending on how much editing you've already done. And that's all we need to do. So it's going to put those selected files into this folder at those settings. So export. So Lightroom's going to do its stuff now. So if we go back to Photo Workflow, if we go to this upload button, browse for the files, desktop, we should see this guy that we just created. His files are getting put in there. And they're all tiny, tiny files, like 346 kilobytes, 367, so a third of a megabyte. So even on slow internets, they should upload pretty well. Let's just let it finish doing that stuff. Shouldn't take too much longer. So what we'll see in a minute is we're going to upload these files. They should whiz up to Photo Workflow really quickly. And then the next step is notify client. So we're going to hit this button you can see grayed out here, notify client, and that's going to send a second email to the client saying your gallery is ready, you can now log in and view it. Let's just do these few, we don't need to do too many, so let's just do, say, those ones there ready to go. There we go. Right. So you see they're flying up really quickly. Cool, so you can see there's the few images that we've uploaded there. So say you've uploaded an image incorrectly, or you've done something wrong, or you just didn't want to provide one, click that, you can delete. Yes, delete these photos. If you wanted to delete two, you could click a couple, delete, and also shift click works. So if you wanted to say click that one to that one, shift, I'm holding shift down, click that, you can select three to delete. Now the one thing you need to do before you notify the client is we've got to pick what's called a cover image or a banner image. So you go to select cover and then pick a photo. Now obviously this is a landscape space, so that's going to look a bit weird having his chin there. So if I try and find an image of this dude that is in landscape, so I'm going to export that with the same things that we did before. If I just go to export, it will have held those settings. Test settings, JPEG settings are all the same. So I'm just going to export one more image, so that I've got something good to use for this banner. So let's go to upload, browse. I can see here it's created that because of the time, it's slightly later. That's the landscape image we've created, so I'm going to upload that one image. There it is. So I can use this again, this that said select cover. Do this as many times as you want. So click that, do that. Cool, looks better. This is quite a wide screen, but you see it's responsive. So if I go to what's like more like a MacBook size screen, that's that. If you wanted to be really particular, what you could do is you could crop this image and make it kind of like a good thin image that really, you know, focus on the bit that you want to show in that banner. If I export that again, upload this one more image. That's that one. Great, so that's that. And this should, even if we zoom it out, it should fit a bit better. You're obviously working with all different screen sizes, so it's tricky to get it perfect, but that's the concept, that it will resize there. So now the next thing we need to do, notify the client. So if I click notify client, it's done its thing, that button's gone, which means that it's been sent. So if we look in here now, in our sent emails, testing client, there he is, he's been added. Nice, his banner image, that same one that you've selected there, has been put in. And all this text is editable to get across the message you want to get across to the client when you're sending it to them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And if we go back to our sessions page now, we'll see that cover has been placed there. And there's one more option here, front end view. So this shows you roughly what the client is seeing. They have a bit more information, like your photographer logo is shown there and a little button with instructions and stuff. But you can see here roughly. Now the functions they've got when they're logged in, they can drag the order of the photos around so they can reselect their favourites. You can go to open a photo. You'll see it's added my watermark here. You can put that in your favourites, in your cart, sorry. And you can put one in your favourites. So now if you scroll across here, the one that we put in favourites is favourites, the one we put in cart is cart. And this is where they'd come to place their order. So that's pretty much it for getting the images uploaded and sent to a client. If I just show you under your logo, you've got some options here. So if I go to templates, this is all the text that you can edit for emails and places of text on the website. They've all got basic bits of text in there at the moment, but for instance, if we look at email template, welcome, the email the client receives when they're added to the database with a link asking them to create their password. So that's the first email someone will get whenever they're added into the system. So you can open that up. And you see here, first name, that will add the client's first name in there with that hashtag. That's a clever bit of scripting that pulls the first name from the user and adds that in there. But you can add whatever you want into this text and then just click save changes, and then you can adapt your messages to people, and there's lots of options there at different points. And same, for instance, website text gallery, the text at the top of the client's gallery page. So if I log in and show you as, this is just one of my test clients. So for instance, if I go to this gallery, you see here instructions, I can open up, and that's a particular set of instructions that you can adapt to tell the client how you want them to pick their images, etc. And you see here cart, it's telling me how much each image is set to depending on the photographer's retouch price. So the one other thing that's worth looking at if you want to set it up in a bit more detail initially. So back in as a photographer, if I go to settings, here are all the basic things. Your name, company name, email, PayPal email is really important, of where you want to collect money for any orders that you set, your retouch price. Images, logo, they should be square. Watermark, this is where you can upload the PNG file that you want to be overlaid any images that you upload. If you have a watermark, it will automatically do it. If you don't, it won't do it. So yeah, plonk your watermark in there. And then banner image, this is what you see at the top here. An email banner image, that's what you see at the top of, for instance, this email. That's the email banner image, the initial one that gets sent out. So that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. Clients and sessions are the two pages you're going to be working in. Clients, you see, you can search Adam, and you'll see here that comes up, or you can maybe try, I don't know. You can see all the different people there. And I'll do a separate video maybe for agents and stuff like that later. But yeah, you got all these sessions. Current sessions is the main tab to see all the stuff you're working on. And you can see here it counts how many favourites the client has picked. So because we picked one favourite, then it's obviously relaying that back to you. And that is about it.